Of which, it's time to talk. I can smell them baked goods that are coming out in the...
oh, we're missing the baked goods.
No, I'm going to go and get some in a minute.
I am in a minute after this sound check. All right, our kids. It's all about Oasis today.
Racist Oasis?
Oasis. Racist Oasis? They might be, aren't they? Is that good?
I hope not.
I hope not. There you go. How excited are you? It's Clearwater's Derby Day in Queanbeyan. Queanbeyan City make the trek across the river to the Monaro Panthers. 1 kilometre roughly between the two venues. It's a stroll more than a hike. But City are here to do the double over the Panthers. Revenge is in the air though. Monaro wanting to get back on terms after that 2-1 defeat at High Street earlier in the season. My name's Russ Gibbs. Stand by me, casting no shadow, is Ian Worthington. Welcome in.
Hello.
You acquiesce to be here.
Some might say this is going to be one of the best games of the season, but we shall see. And you'll see a few references to Oasis over the next couple of hours. I think we just nailed four
in the opening stanza of this one. So we're looking for some football alongside, it might be Champagne Supernova, my friend. It might not be.
Well, we're going to listen to you talk tonight, aren't we? So we shall see.
Enough of that already. This one we'll look at in a minute. Already there's been a game that's played this afternoon. Tuggeranong United have gone to O'Connor in close and won by 3-2 over there. Ewan Peterkin got them on terms after they went behind. So Heggie scored for the Knights. Then a rather scrambled goal from Zach Lawrence made it 2-1. Steve Nealon came off the bench and scored a penalty. Of course he did. Steve Nealon does that kind of thing. Right at the end, a really good goal from Daniel Galich made it 3-2, but Tuggeranong held on despite the Knights hitting the crossbar. Good win for Tuggies. It's now put them into that top 4 race. They've managed to put themselves 3 points ahead of Queanbeyan City into 4th, 17-14. They'll be hoping the Panthers can do them a favour tonight.
Yeah, there will be. It's been an exciting day this afternoon and, across the region for different teams, and it'll obviously follow on tomorrow as well. And, we'll know by Sunday night where we're at with this very intriguing, exciting competition. 2
results I've got for you from the Capital Premier League. Belconnen United went to the River Arena. Wagga City Wanderers 2. Belconnen United 6. Cade Lyons with both goals for Wagga. He's now got 10 this season. He's having a great year. But a hat-trick from J. James Ward. A couple from Jake Bishop helped Belconnen United to 3 points, and that helps them stay top of the table. A blow for Canberra Juventus as they look to close the gap on ANU. The game at Ainsley today finished 2 goals apiece. I understand Jack Gibson, who's the Golden Boot leader in that division, scored again for ANU as a double for Michael Adams. But 2-2 doesn't really help Juve in their chase for top spots. Well, that's the 2 results I've got for you. There was a 3:30 kickoff in the other game. I'll just have a quick look at that. West Canberra Wanderers versus Brindabella Blues to see if anything's come in. I don't think so. It's probably too early. It is. As soon as we hear that, we will let you know there's a game tomorrow as well as White Eagles take on Olympic. Women's Premier League is on tomorrow. I am told Tuggeranong United, Gungahlin United reserves is off. Tuggeranong have forfeited, and Gungahlin will win by 3-0. It's the second week in a row that Tuggeranong forfeited, which is a bit of a worry in the women's space. First grade will go ahead, though, tomorrow afternoon in the Women's Premier League, one of a trio of games that will take place. Canberra Olympic are at home to West Canberra Wanderers. And the other game, who I've lost my notes, Madura at home to Canberra, Croatia. So, Ian, Derby Day. You love Derby Days. We all love Derby Days. Woke up this morning really excited. Everyone's buzzing here. All week there's been talk from both sides of the camp about getting a result. Queanbeyan City have been very chirpy about their chances. Monaro Panthers, of course, they've got that revenge in the air, haven't they, from that game over there earlier in the campaign where City, thanks to Jack Leverett Scross, won the day.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to be at that game over at High Street a few weeks ago, and it was a great game, very competitive. Jack Leverett, scoring across, and the crowd went ecstatic, and I'm hoping for a similar atmosphere this evening as the crowd builds fairly slowly. I think there's a few people will still be frequenting the local establishments, and no doubt will be here come kick-off time.
Frank Case just sent me the score from Melrose. West Canberra Wanderers 3, Brindabella Blues 3. Brindabella Blues led 2-0. Then 3 goals in a row for West Canberra, including one in the 92nd minute. Gave them the 3 points. No, it didn't, because Brindabella scored a minute later in stoppage time, 3 apiece. So all square there. Thanks, Frank, for updating us on that one. We're looking forward to this tonight. There's a lot of mascots out there as well. Shout out to my mate Ben Morphy and his 2 youngsters out there, Alexis and Charlotte. They're down there amongst the mascots as well, waiting to help the teams onto the pitch. The weather today is actually really nice, isn't it? Well, not beautiful, but it's not that cold. It's quite a nice evening. Either that or I've got all the thermals on. It's keeping me nice and toasty.
And there's not been too much sunshine, has there? But other than that, it's been quite a mild day. And yeah, it's continued this evening. It's nice, and it's stood up here, and we're always sheltered. It's always nice to be at Stryda Park, isn't it? We well looked after, and yeah, no wind through our backs, and yeah, very exciting.
Justin Kapaski's on the camera today. He'll be able to show you in a minute once he gets off his phone and starts panning around. To our right down here, where I'm pointing, and he'll show you right now, is where the Queanbeyan City supporters will be sat today. They've segregated the teams, the support, not for any other reason than it'll make for a better atmosphere. So City will be to our right. Monaro will be in front of us in the claw, and of course to the left it's filling up nicely. If you think it's not too many there now, there's a few hanging around outside. There's a heck of a lot in the VIP room tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, they're getting the pre-match feed. The roast pork has just been presented, and we managed to get in there just before everyone else, as non-members. But
the Italian sausages, Anthony Zanetti and his team did us proud again, didn't they? I mean, the Italian sausages tonight were amazing. Top draw stuff from inside the supporters club. As usual, this is a second Clearwater's derby between the teams in the NPL era. City won the first, of course. Why Clearwater's derby? Well, I'll explain this last time we did this, but for any of you that missed it, Queanbeyan in Aboriginal terms is Queanbeyan, and Queanbeyan actually means clear waters, hence Clearwater's derby. These two grounds separated by the river that runs through Queanbeyan, and that's why we call it the way it is. If you're interested in that, Ian.
Yeah, you've explained that to me before, but I trust you, and you're trying to make a name of a derby out of.
I got mayoral consent from it as well. Mayor of Queanbeyan. I asked them if we would be okay to use that. It's not culturally insensitive to anybody or not, and we got approval, and off we go.
He dipped out of the game last time, didn't he? He went and watched Canberra Raiders, I think.
Probably over there as well.
Are the Raiders playing again tonight?
Yeah, they're playing St George. Apparently, the Dragons.
It'll be better here than it is there, surely.
Surely it will. I'm sure he's watching it on his phone as well, and he'll be sending us text in a minute going, he has to come there. Queanbeyan have only lost once in their last 5 NPL matches and twice in the last 7. It's a good run of form, actually, isn't it? And the 3 goals they scored against the Knights last week is the most that they've ever managed in a single NPL fixture. And they did it without Nico Abbott, who's in the team tonight. Let's have a look at those lineups, starting with the Panthers. Heath Illich plays in goal. The back 3 sees Max Mellick, Dylan Deep-Jones and Marco Gaia. Ryan Straub and Zach McLaren will patrol in front of them. The 2 wide players, a return for Robert Kachenko, Christian Kreskas on the other side. Connor Minott-Smith plays as 10. In the absence of the suspended Daniel Balac, Nikos Kalfas makes a return to the Panthers. His first game since coming back to the club. He partners Stephen Dominici up top. Patrick Mitchell, Fernando, Sam Rosbach and Giuseppe Tyne and Gary Memitage are the substitutes. Big miss in 11-goal Daniel Balac, but Nikos Kalfas is some replacement.
Big miss, as you've said. He's a very good player, isn't he? Scores a lot of goals. We say that every time we watch Daniel play, and he will be missed tonight. Nico Kalfas coming back over from Tigers FC. We'll see how he does tonight, but also the return of Robbie Tichenko is a huge plus for Monaro. For me, he's one of the top players in the league.
City start with Nick Middleton in goal. Back 4 with Jack Leverett right back, Harrison Pallets left back, Armani Lavella in instead of Nawal Guerrero, who's suspended. Christian Tokic plays at centre back. We thought he was suspended. We thought he had 4 yellow cards. Dribble only says 3. We go by the official dribble app. So he starts tonight. Daniel Roberts and Marko Savkovic, the skipper, the holding midfielders. Mishka Namoski starts in the advanced midfield role. Abdurrahim Delahi, Nico Abbott and Gabriel Ayul, the front 3. Ayul nominally started as a left back where he was outstanding and one player of the match in the cup final. He starts on the left wing up top today. Vasco Petrovsky, Stephen Kreska, Samuel Palic, Samuel Abbott and Daniel Obst are the City subs.
There's a couple of family affairs in there. I think there's 2 Kreskases, is there not? In one for each team this evening, but for the Queanbeyan City side, it's a team that's been doing very well. Extremely fortunate to have Tokic involved, and hopefully he can look after Armani Lavella, another Monaro junior. And we'll see how he does tonight. And Jack Leverett, who's been excellent all season for me, and will continue to do so, I expect, tonight.
Well, after the dribble adjustment of the fact that he's only got 3 yellow cards, which we all thought might be incorrect, but not for us to say, is it? It's not the official app. It is the official app for a reason. Jack Leverett, Christian Tokic and Marko Savkovic all teetering on suspension on 3 yellow cards. Marco Gaia on the other side as well. Very experienced referee in the middle in terms of having A-League experience in Nathan Shakespeare. Thomas McGlade and Ibrahim Al-Salhi are the assistants as well. This one is likely to be a little bit fiery in parts, I would have thought.
I would hope so. It's a derby, and they both share the same town, and both teams are up for it. So I hope this it's very competitive, and yeah, there might be a few big challenges going, but you know that's what playing in a derby is all about. You've got to stand up to those sort of things, and often the team who does stand up the most are the team who come out victorious at the end of it. So we shall see, but very much looking forward to it.
What is it about derby occasions, Ian, that really get the blood pumping? I mean, and these two, it's not overly unique in the UK, but in these terms it is, because they are literally, we often say it, a goal kick away or a stone's throw, whatever you want to call it. You couldn't get any closer, could you, really? No,
there's just a river that separates them, as you say, and as we reach kick-off, it's excitement from the fans. It's generated through the town. You know, both clubs want to get one over on each other from board level down to coach level, and then that drives the motivation, self-motivation, but also, you know, the players going on the pitch should know what it's about.
Will it be Reds? Will it be green and black? Panthers seeking revenge. City seeking a double. Abdurrahim Delahi, first of all, to charge through. Unfortunate not to keep that in the field of play. The centre forward who scored his first Premier League goal last week. Bullet header it was as well in the win over the O'Connor Knights. Touch from Nomoski was a bit loose. First run of the half from Kreskas. He's got some pace. And there's the first challenge, thumping one from Tokic. Love that. And his City on the burst. Deep Jones got in the way of the cross. Because Kalfas' first touch back in Panthers colours. He's Connor Minor-Smith, and that's a foul by Roberts, and he might be lucky, because it's early in the game, that he's not going to see yellow for that. Bit cynical.
Yeah, and you're going to get some aggression by Queanbeyan City, but already a stern word from Zach McLaren, who relishes these types of evenings. I was really surprised he was left out the team last week against Ugali, having been exceptional for the couple of games before that, picking up a Man of the Match award or two. And he talks about being in the trenches, so we'll see whether he's in the trenches with his team this evening.
I had a chat with him actually when he came in this afternoon. I was watching the match on the TV inside, and I had a good chat with Zach McLaren about today, and he said he was fired up. He's always fired up anyway, isn't it? It wasn't a surprise to hear that. Early stages of this competition. Panthers are unbeaten in their last 3 here. They've lost just once in 7 matches at Stryda Park this season. It's been a good hunting ground for them. And they have got plenty of talent. Here's Dylan Deep Jones.
Interesting how Queanbeyan City have set up. There's almost a mid-block, which I'm quite a fan of at the moment, in how different teams play, but not necessarily putting loads of pressure on Monaro's back line and just trying to be compact and not allowed to be played through. And with that will probably become a counter-attack or two.
Here's McLaren. Kreskas, chance to deliver into the penalty area. Tokic away. Helped on by Delahi. Abbott's first involvement. It's neat and tidy. Marco Gaia back, and he's not happy with the attention he got from the Argentinian striker. A couple of words exchanged. How big of a miss is Daniel Badac tonight, Ian?
As I said before, he's a miss because he's a good player, but they've also got quality that's come in place of him, isn't there? So, no, I think they'll be okay without him, as much as they'd love to have him.
Melik finds Kachenko, who's a welcome return to the team. Loose from Melik. Roberts sweeps one towards Delahi. Skips out of play. Surface again looks pretty good here at the Riversides. Mini derby was quite extraordinary, wasn't it? The match beforehand, Queanbeyan City led 2-0 with 9 minutes to play, and somehow Panthers came back to win by 3 goals to 2. Yuri Lemezina with the 89th minute winner. All 3 goals for Panthers coming from substitutes.
Yeah, decent work from the coaching staff to make that happen, really, and changing personnel, which brought the goals, and 3 goals in, 9 or 10 minutes is a phenomenal comeback.
Yeah, they didn't mess around when they scored, the young Panthers. They got the ball, went on, they thought we can win this. And that's when they got back to 2-1. We'd settled for something very similar in the first grade game, wouldn't we? Plenty of goals, plenty of drama. 5 minutes in, Dylan Deep Jones. Angle ball, but Leverett read the intention. Tokic. Armani Lavella, who up to a few weeks ago was playing 23s football for O'Connor Knights. Deep Jones was pressured by Demoski, did well to get out of it. Here's Ryan Straub.
Great support from Ryan Straub, wasn't it, to help Dylan Deep Jones out there. Just give him a little angle to play out of, and it broke the press.
Kreskas and Dominici exchanging passes, and off goes Kreskas. The turbocharge afterburner on, but the cross not good enough. And Nick Middleton with a comfortable first action of the evening. It's building up nicely, isn't it? The City fans are here in numbers. The claws out in front of us with the drum. Melik. Harrison Palic again was part of the Knights until the window. Deep Jones, the flag has stayed down. It hasn't. It's gone up rather late on Dominici, who scuffed his effort wide anyway. First instincts were that he was slightly offside here.
He was ever so slightly offside, yeah. He, tries to form those good habits and put it in the goal anyway. Just played on the shoulder of Tokic, didn't he? And just wonder whether he's going to do that. And great strikers are offside a lot. They just play on that fine line between being on and off, and are so dangerous when they are onside.
Good strikers are offside a lot. Great strikers know when it's time to run.
Don't know. I used to watch Andy Cole be offside about 12 times a half, and he'd still grab a couple.
That's because he was playing with a team that created 70,000 chances a game.
Well, that's right. Well, maybe Monaro do the same.
Here's Zach McLaren.
They've certainly been in fine form at home, haven't they?
They do. They've been in good form at home, less so away. Do you know what I mean? Dominici, Marco Gaia. Not the best ball forwards. Tomorrow, a rather big match at Deakin Stadium. Canberra, Croatia versus Tigers FC. The gap at the top between those two is 6 points at the moment. Canberra, Croatia could put themselves 9 to the good tomorrow, depending on what happens here, of course, as well. Delahi looking for Abbots to help it on. Plenty of runners. Ayul. He's a proper handful, Gabriel Ayul.
He is. Real engine getting up and down. Rob Noski just offside there. Yeah. But yeah, if they give him that free rein like he had against O'Connor Knights to get up and down and really give some width to Queanbeyan City, then he'll be a real threat tonight.
He could do a fair bit of up today. I'm not sure he's going to have to do as much down, is he, with further forward with Harrison Palic behind him.
It's a great addition, isn't it, for Queanbeyan City, getting Harrison Palic, who's just that natural left back, and yeah, like you say, he's got a little bit of more advanced movement in him tonight. He's take the reins off him a little bit.
Here's Dylan Deep Jones. He's now got 2 in 2 games as Dylan Deep Jones, having only ever scored 1 Premier League goal prior to that. You tell he's been in the goal-scoring form of his life, Ian.
Who, Dylan?
Yeah, 2 in 2.
Because he's only probably ever scored 2 in his life.
Well, that's what he said in the interview in the week. I mean, he wasn't lying. Scored 3 goals for the Panthers since he's been here in what are we on now? This is his 37th match. 2 headers in successive games, and last week's vital to get his team back on terms in the 94th
on his debut at West Canberra Wanderers.
It's right here, actually. Right? Yeah, it was at this venue. It was against West Canberra Wanderers. Controlled it with his face, put it in with his shin. They all count, don't they? Yeah. 3 goals. Hadn't scored since then, but like I say, in the league, but got himself a couple of goals in recent weeks. Has been a real threat from set pieces. Missing Adam Di Franceschi, who's been his partner at the back there in crime for a season and a bit. Still injured, of course, might be out for a long time. Filic came to get that. He can claim a part of the goal last week, can't he, with being up there?
High foot. Yeah.
Against Abbott. He was in there, wasn't he, causing confusion?
It's a nice way to put it.
He was suggesting he didn't know what he was doing.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. They'll be hoping he doesn't have to reprise the feat tonight. That they're not trailing in the 94th minute and they have to send him forward. Long way before that should happen, though. Marco Gaia back in the squad tonight as well, in the team, after missing a couple of weeks. Keith Jones allowed to advance a long way. Dominici came to get and can turn and can run. Leaves Savkovic and Oyul in his wake, and then couldn't find the pass. Just a warning sign if they need one. That's a bit short.
Yeah, he's dropped it short, puts his hand up and acknowledges that he nearly put Harrison Palak in it then.
Robert Kachenko putting the pressure on. Long throw from Palic. Abbott knocks it down. Miska and Namoski couldn't get there ahead of Straub. Kreskas couldn't beat Leverett.
It's going to be a good tussle, that, Leverett and Kreskas.
It's not a good ball from Delahaye. Here's Nikos Kalfas. We haven't seen him have a run yet since his return to Panthers colours. Here's his first chance. Bundles past a couple. Can't force it through the gap. He is tough to stop when he gets motoring, Nikos Kalfas.
Yeah, shifts his feet quick. Be interesting to see how long he can last tonight, having started the game.
Kreskas twisting and turning. Nikos Kalfas. 6 matches for the Tigers this season. Started 1 in the league, 5 substitute appearances, scored a couple of goals. Dominici exchange of passes again. Couldn't get into the starting team for whatever reason.
Well, a lot of it, he was coming back from injury and just trying to get his minutes in. It's a late challenge, that, from
Armani Lavella.
Armani Lavella, yeah.
Probably the first yellow card of the derby for the young centre-back, who copped a red card on his debut.
It was a bit late and clumsy, wasn't it? And he's dived in and...
Well, he's got a long time now to be sitting on a yellow card up against the likes of Stephen Dominici and Nikos Kalfas. Now, this might well be in range. Conor Minott-Smith fancies it.
Well, the 2 I would expect to be on it are Chichenko, Conor Minott-Smith.
Robert Kachenko ceded responsibility, I think, to Conor Minott-Smith here. Conor Minott-Smith. He's just lining one up. Nick Middleton wants 3 in the wall.
Now, we've done this with before, whipping it across the wall over the keeper's right shoulder. And now we'll see whether he's still got that in his locker from a couple of years ago.
Minott-Smith from the set piece. Into the wall. Kachenko has a swing. Back for Minott-Smith again. Straub charged down by Savkovic. City bodies on the line. Roberts to bring it away. Here goes Palic, and that's a thumping challenge from Melik as well. Brings roars of appreciation from the youngsters in front of us. Wasn't Minott-Smith's best set piece, but the wall did its job.
Did we not say last week it's the biggest wall in the, in the NPL? They're all about 6'5" when they stand there. It's not easy to get up and over. I think Conor actually looked to whip it round the wall from the way he was shaped.
I think Tigers could probably put the biggest wall out, couldn't they? Every single player in that team is over 7'6". They could all be basketball players. We'll see them tomorrow. A few injuries, though, I understand, in the Tigers lineup, which is never ideal.
Don't know.
No, I'm not asking the question. That's why I said I understand.
Yeah, none of my business.
I got that straight from the manager's, the coach's mouth. Unable to pick a team until tomorrow, so we'll wait and see what he comes up with. He'll always come up with something good, Ali.
We needed to pick a team an hour before kick-off anyway.
Here's Palic.
You forget otherwise.
On a run forcing them backwards. Ayol's got there, but he was rather stabbed at it. May have nicked a Panther toe on the way to Gabe Ayol. That's maybe just put him off.
I'm very surprised that he didn't move his body to get that onto his left foot and just pass it in the corner. Great run from Harrison Pallet.
Well, this is a player that's played 30 Premier League games and scored once. Gabe Ayol. Marco Gaia. Crescas. Minus Smith tries to get stuck in. Almost quarter of an hour in. The last 5 NPL goals at Queanbeyan have scored, have all come in the first half. They would love another one today. Got a bit of defending to do here. Kachenko for Kalfas. Backtracking City defenders, Nikos Kalfas. A bit of ring rustiness. Panthers have managed at least 1 goal in their last 6 matches. At this venue, in 7 home games this year, they have scored 29 times. Isn't bad, is it?
It's not a bad return.
They haven't won all those games. They did lose one here. Dominici to turn and hits. It's going to come for Kalfas. Caught it well, but the radar was off. Fizzed wide of goal. Not a real problem for Nick Middleton. City are on the road after a string of 4 home matches in succession. As I mentioned, they've travelled less than a kilometre to get here. It's hardly a bus trip, is it?
They have a bus, don't they?
They do. I said they should drive it over here, but I'm not sure where they will park it. They'll actually probably have to park it in the bus car park, which would be further than actually just walking.
Could be as far, yeah. Yeah, where we park our vehicles.
And to get in early doors to get a prime parking space, like myself today, mate. Come on, just down there.
Have you got one within ball clearance range?
I hidden behind the tree so that the branches form a barrier. Come on then, I know you're looking at your list. What have you got?
Your time will come.
McLaren. Kalfas to lift it over the top. Well met by Tokic. McLaren on the burst and into the area. Lavella away. Crescas will recover and can reload. And it will find its way, maybe. Little shove by Dominici. Fair to say that Daniel Roberts felt that and went down and decided that'll do. Free kick time.
Just taking the momentum out of the Monaro attack, isn't he, there? Daniel Roberts, who was started well tonight, but he was best player on the pitch last week against O'Connor Knights. He was fabulous from start to finish, picking up second balls, and yeah, did extremely well.
Got anyone you want to say hello to?
Actually, Michael O'Rourke, my cousin's listening, and just messaged us. Probably wants to talk tonight.
Gaia plays it forward to Crescas. Shout out to Michael O'Rourke. He's had a tough old week or two, hasn't he? With stuff back at home. Condolences to their family.
Made matters worse by listening to us two dribble on tonight, I suppose, hasn't he? I mean,
absolutely.
If he had any sense, he'd turn us off.
Football world absolutely shocked this week, weren't they, with the news of Diogo Jota. Shocking accident cost the life of the Liverpool forward, Portuguese international. Has brought the world of football together, though, hasn't it, Ian? The rivalries put aside those kind of things.
Becomes irrelevant football. I think Kenny Dalglish said that. Said it doesn't make a difference about the football now.
Here's Delahi to send it into the middle, and Ilic Kane made it his.
But yeah, very, very sad. You know, also his brother losing his life as well, and Jota in a marriage that was 10 or 11 days old, and yeah, extremely sad. And like you say, it shocked the world of football.
I saw a video with him playing with his kids on Anfield at the end. I think it was when they won the championship, wasn't it, against Liverpool, Crystal Palace?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it just brought it home, really, didn't it? It's a horrible, horrible thing. Thoughts, condolences to everyone connected with him. take that from Crescas. On that pass is going to ricochet kindly into the path of Conor Minott-Smith. Roberts recovered beautifully and makes a wonderful tackle too. And Savkovic went long, but Abbott came short.
Yeah, they just got their on different wires, weren't they, at that time, unfortunately. Abbott dropped into a little pocket of space, but it was more of a clearing away from danger.
Minott-Smith, now Crescas, flag stays down, 4 to hit in the penalty area for Crescas. Can't pick any of them out. Lavella got there. Delahi. That was a little bit much for Ayul. When it left the boot, it felt like it had a fair bit of travelling to do. Here's Deep Jones at the back again. Marco Gaia. Closing in on the midway point of the first half. A couple of minutes just shy of that. Monaro, probably fair to say, and they've dominated the possession. Not many chances of note for either team. Might change now. Lovely ball from Dominici. Kuchenko to fire it across. Minott-Smith went in. Was a stud away from getting there. Crescas under extreme pressure. Lovely reverse ball from Dominici.
Yeah, it is, and they have had a lot of possession, haven't they, Monaro? But I think Queanbeyan City have set up that way as well. And
here's Dominici trying to twist and turn again. Crescas on Villavella, and then the hit was first time from Minott-Smith, forced to save from Middleton. Interesting clearance from Armani Lavella.
Yeah, he probably had the chance to bring it on down, and he decided that he wanted to just clear it and rushed it, and unfortunately give it back to Monaro.
Ayul. Melik under pressure from Ayul again. Got a message from Michael Zukoski supporting from Melbourne. Great to see Queanbeyan in the derby, supporting Queanbeyan City. Michael Zukoski, as you would expect. Marco Gaia stretched and got there. Kalfas. Minott-Smith. Space for Dominici. Still going, Dominici. Challenge was good from Roberts again. That's less so from Zach McLaren, who's going to see yellow for that. His part in the derby, his third yellow card of the season. Won't bother Zach McLaren though, he'll just roll with it.
No, some might say he was a little overzealous there.
Queanbeyan City creeping into the game little by little.
Whatever.
Middleton sends it long. Came off Crescas. Good challenge again in the middle of the park by Ryan Straub. Now here's Kuchenko. Straub. McLaren. Dominici. Into Minott-Smith. Threatening when they get towards the edge of the penalty area. Guys slide away into winning that challenge. It's that kind of night. You can actually get a good slide on here. Now that the evening dew is falling across Stryda Park.
Yeah, there was very atmospheric, isn't it? There was the smoke coming over and the crowd noise. The smoke's now fade away, and it's, you know, a bit clearer again, but the smoke does come over. We can actually even see the fire over the far side, which is interesting. I hope those trees don't lighten up.
It's in a massive pit there. You'll be okay. It's fine.
Just probably surrounded by cigarettes and alcohol.
We are from below, 100%. None up here, though, of course, because we're working and neither of us smoke either, mate. So it's bad for you. Leverett with the throw. We're still awaiting. First real chance of note here. In the mini derby, there was a supersonic finish. We've yet to get one from the start here. It's been rather tepid first 25 minutes, even though there's been a couple of cards dished out. It did take a goal, I think, from memory serves me right, for the last one to really spark into life as well.
Been a little bit quiet, hasn't it, really? Like you say, a couple of incidents where Nathan Shakespeare's just keeping a lid on it by giving out the yellow card to Armani Lavella and also Zach McLaren for a bit of a late challenge. But really, other than that, nothing too much going on.
I think Marco Guy has been pinged for a foul throw. That is a big fine, isn't it?
It used to be $50 when Josh Calabria picked him up every week.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was awful.
Well, that's quite bad. If Josh Calabria's watching, he'll be texting Marco Guy, no doubt. Dominici snapping into the challenge. Swept in by Savkovic. Abbott backed into Ilic rather cleverly. Leverett.
Amazing lead from Dylan Dick Jones. He must have got a shout from Heath Illich.
Kuchenko, Kalfas. Well, 25 minutes in, Ian, Queanbeyan City, 5th in the table. 3 points off the top four. Monaro Panthers, as we know, were 3rd heading into this one, but this point will take them back on goal difference into 2nd, should it stay that. Ryan Strom on the burst. Got a question for you in a minute. Goran Jozomowski would have got up this morning. He'd have had the master plan in place. Is this it? Do you think this is what it is? Soak up the pressure in the first 25 minutes and then see what happens after that?
I think he's set up that mid block. He's going to roll with it and see what happens there.
But they have done well at the moment to curtail a free-scoring Monaro Panthers. It's a good turn from Minot Smith, looking for McLaren. Snappy tackle from Roberts again. Delahi, Savkovic. Hasn't had much time on the ball, Marco Savkovic, just yet.
No, and I just think with the two they've got out on the left-hand side, Queanbeyan City, I think that they need to switch the ball a little bit more over this side. Palic can get forward really well.
Novella's in trouble here. I don't know if he heard the rampaging boots of Stephen Dominici.
He's
Savkovic
done brilliantly well there, hasn't he, Lavella?
Got himself out of that one. Is Delahi to cut inside and try and find Mishko Nomoski. Marco Guy took it off his toes. Stephen Dominici sensed an opportunity. Savkovic just popped it forward to Delahi. Ayul waiting for it to come to him. Melik made it his. McLaren. Now some space. Dominici. Kuchenko's got loads of room out on this flank. Dominici heading in that general direction. Kuchenko will have to settle for the corner. Pass from Stephen Dominici sent him a tad wide. Still await this derby to explode into action. Stephen Dominici scored in the 39th minute over the road, 6 minutes before half-time. Now there's a little bit of chat going on in the penalty area. Nathan Shakespeare wants to have a word with Stephen Dominici and co. Harrison Palic keeping tight to him, keeping him away from Nick Middleton. Kuchenko to take the corner. Good one in there. Kalfas was the target. Tokic won it.
Kalfas disappointed with his first touch. He didn't open out play down in the box.
Good piece of defensive work that from City though, to get themselves out. After failing to score in 3 games in succession, but in rounds 2 and 4, Queanbeyan have now managed at least 1 goal in their last 8, which has been a good return for them. Want to buck a trend today. Of the 11 goals they've scored this season, only 2 have been in the second half. Overall, though, their return to the Premier League, Ian, how would you describe it? It's been reasonably good, hasn't it? They've had a lot of home games, so it's a bit skewed, but at the moment they've won 3, drawn 5, and only lost 4. And they've not really made a huge amount of additions to this squad. Goran Jozefovski's done well.
It's been exciting. I've enjoyed watching them, particularly at home. They've really made it their own, haven't they? And the few times been over to High Street, made it extremely welcome as well. But I think the football that they've played has been, they've been aggressive. They've been controlled. They try and get the ball forward from deep areas as well as high areas through the full-backs. And I've enjoyed watching them play this year.
When they have lost on their travels, they have lost. They lost 5-0 to Canberra, Croatia, 6 to the O'Connor Knights. At home and in this neck of the woods, they've been really good. Defensively solid at the moment. Here's Ryan Straub. Kreskas to swing it in towards Dominici. Lavella got it away, not for the first time. Leverett should complete the clearance. Marco Gaia. There's a general murmur around the ground at the moment, hasn't it? It hasn't really got the fans as engaged as it might. It's on a knife edge, though. McLaren. Horrible clearance from Palic, only as far as Kalfas. His ball in was too much.
Very much out of character from Harrison Palic, wasn't it, that? And usually so solid in those situations.
That's overhit by Leverett, easy for Heath Illich. Paul McCaw and Danny McCaw, I don't think will be overly troubled by what they've seen so far. Their team have had a lot of the ball. Much like against Ugali last week, though, they haven't quite got the cutting edge in the final third. Ugali in town again tomorrow. They play Gungahlin United, who are coming off the back of that remarkable 5-4 win at Deakin Stadium last week. Loic Lespenas scoring 4 times. In a quite insane game of football. It was brilliant to watch. Did you catch up on that in the week?
Definitely one for the neutrals. I got home, I think I watched the second half, and I got in after another game that I was at. So, it was very exciting. The new Gungahlin striker was fantastic, wasn't he?
Did well, didn't he? 4 goals. Not sure how long he's going to be around for, but we will see. Here's Kreskas. General consensus in the Croatia camp afterwards was they were a little bit disappointed that they didn't come away with the draw, even though they played with 10 men for quite some time. It's going to be too heavy for Palic.
See what, he's quick, but he ain't that quick.
But they got themselves into the game, back of the game at 4-4, and there's a thing, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But there's quite a lot of them now going, well, we probably should have settled for the point. But that's not in their nature.
No, when you're in game and your wheels are in motion, it's getting that information where you want to even settle when you've got yourself back into the game. Generally, you want to go and get the win. I mean, look at Monaro's under-23s just before. 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go and end up winning 3-2. So good on them for that spirited comeback.
I love the attitude, to be honest, isn't it? Go out there and try and win it.
Yeah.
And with 10 men having got back to 4-4 in that game last week, they were sucker punched at the end. Nomoski. Round of 32 game for Canberra Croatia, by the way, confirmed as the 30th of July, Wednesday night, against Metro Stars from South Australia. Ticket details will be available shortly. Should be a good night for football in Canberra, that one. Here's Harrison Palic, leaving it for Gabe Ayul, who's got a very long throw on him. Hope he's got the grip gloves on tonight. Sent up the big fella, Tokic from the back, and it's in that general direction. Good leap. I think it was McLaren who won it. Kalfas bringing the counter-attack. Dominici coming together with Ayol and Kichenko. Straub. Lavella away.
Sort of a bit Lavella's ear, that was sort of changed his direction of his head.
May have moved on him after he jumped at it. The young central defender finds Palic, who wants to let Ayul race away.
Super ball.
He got in behind.
And super touch.
No foul. Max Melik, who then finds Dominici. Well, doesn't, but it might turn out to a good ball for Kreskas, who's going to get there. Oyul still down in back play. Christian Kreskas into the middle. Dominici, and it's back for Kalfas. It's Nikos Kalfas on that right foot, charged down by Lavella. And probably, for the diplomacy's sake, it's probably a good job that didn't go in, Ian.
Yeah, as he's just wandering his way back, but defended very well, Armani Lavella there. Stood up. Kalfas gets it onto his right foot. We know that he's very dangerous from those situations, and Lavella just stands up and sees it out for a corner.
Nikos Kalfas with the set piece for the Panthers to swing it into the area. He's met by Delahi. Tried to come through the crowd as well. Will come straight back via McLaren. Burst of run by Minor Smith. Good run too. And ran into too far. Tokic away. Pressure building here from Monaro Panthers. Straub.
Queanbeyan City just can't connect on clearing the ball into their front line. Every time it goes forward, it seems to go to the Monaro back line instead.
Melik, space here for Minot Smith. Loves these little pockets where he can pull the strings. Talk him up and he passes it to Daniel Roberts, who's then giving it away to Marco Gaia. Dominici. Kachenko was on its way to Kalfas. Palic intervened. Here is Kalfas. Melik. Deep Jones. Kalfas again. Win for the flick. Nice idea. Didn't quite come off. Deep Jones again. City being pushed back in. Having to defend a bit deeper than they may have liked.
Even deeper than the mid-block that they started off with. It's become a bit more of a deeper block, and just a little bit too tight there on Conor Minot Smith, and it's a good opportunity for a set piece in a very similar area to where Monaro got their equaliser, where Dylan Deep Jones, who looks more like a rock and roll star than a footballer, he got the great the header in the equaliser last week.
I stood here last week with Frank Aisha, and he was saying that Ugali were being pushed further and further back. That was a lot later in the game. This situation for Kreskas over it. Deep Jones on the far post. He couldn't get 3 in 3, surely. Plenty of other Panther options and that whole cluster of players around the area. Kreskas delivery is brilliant, and Dominici rose unchecked, but could not direct his header on target. Good chance, that.
Well, a great leap from one of the smaller players on the pitch. He found himself left unmarked and just got his direction wrong. He glanced it rather than just simply headed it forward into pretty much an empty goal. And Stephen Dominici will be very disappointed with himself there.
Should have done better. Sat here last week, as I mentioned. Ugali, we're here. Ugali are in town tomorrow. No doubt Darren Bailey's father Ian will be watching half a world away.
Teed yourself up for that.
This is Gabayul. That's a good ball in. Well read by Kachenko. Has he helped Abbott in? He hasn't, because Gaia was back there. McLaren. Nice touch. Kachenko. Straub. Bit too handsy, that challenge. Dylan Deep Jones will take. top towards Crescas. It's going to come from Minot Smith here, who has a go. Was dipping away. Faded past the post. While the ball's out of play, might as well catch up with how you got on today. Under 18s, how did the Tigers go?
We were terrific. 6-1 win, 5-0 up at half time. Brilliant performance across the whole team, and those boys who played so well in the first half enabled us to bring 4 or 5 under 16s on in the second half, which was great to see them up in the 18s as well. And Oliver Moore, coming to England in January, got his first full 90 minutes in the under 18s as an under 16, so really proud of how the boys did.
Oh, and that's a mistake at the back by Middleton, charged down by McLaren. Got lucky there, the goalkeeper. Queanbeyan City dropped right to him. And just to finish up on that note for your team this morning, at least you didn't have to go in your pocket for another match ball.
I spoke with Jordan Faulkner afterwards. I said, "You only got 2, didn't you?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Good. I've started to get invoices for the hat-trick match balls that are given away. We've had 7, I think, this year.
It's quite a lot."
Riley O'Sullivan and MJ didn't even play today, so boys who have been our 2 top scorers and currently out with injury.
They've got enough match balls, those 2, already. Well, they got a couple each this season.
Yeah, a couple each, yeah.
You can catch up with all the NPL boys and girls results on our website this week. There'll be an article. Last week it was written by Billy Ansell, the work experience lads. This week, Madeline Shrewsbury, who's our work experience person, will be with us tomorrow at Deakin Stadium, and she'll be doing the reviews this week, so keep an eye out for those.
Yeah.
Good thing for the work experience kids to get their teeth into.
His dad's actually the under-14s NPL coach for Tigers.
Oh, well, there you go.
They'll watching this
Kalfas,
evening.
wonderful ball over the top. Picked off by Minot Smith, was held up. It's back here for Crescas. Half charge down. Leverett swoops it away. I did not know that. There you go.
Owen plays for the under-14s, and she actually plays for Tigers.
Plays as well for someone as well.
Does,
Does she? Is it Tigers? She said she played NPL. There you go, another Tigers person. Or whatever Tigers women's are. Are they NPL? CPL? What do they call them?
They're Division 1 with big aspirations of coming into the NPLW next season.
That's a Community League 1, I think it was, yeah. I'm sure she'll have a good week, writing some stories for us. Some live football on Tuesday night in the National Women's Premier League for you. Tuggeranong versus Majura from Queanbeyan 2. 2 sides who could do with a win. Both, I think, still waiting for their first points now. ANU are defunct in that division. Good chance to get it on Tuesday. You can watch that live with us from Queanbeyan 2. Here's Kalfas. 3 women's games, of course, tomorrow that we mentioned earlier. Can anybody stop Balcony United in the NPLW? Looking unlikely at the moment, isn't it? But you never know.
They're on fire. Their strength in depth. The young players coming through. They've been brilliant all season.
How often have you seen a team go all the way through a league championship, though, unbeaten, and then lose in finals? Happens quite a lot.
Frank Caser will certainly have something to say about that, won't he? And so will Muzzy and the girls at CFC.
Marcel Munoz is Gungahlin United in the mix. And don't count out West Canberra Wanderers and Steve Rowan Jones's team as well. They've been really hard to beat when they've had a full squad out this year. They can get everybody back. I refer to the Cup semi-final where they went the full 120 minutes with Canberra Croatia. 0-0 at Deakin, went out on penalties. Kalfas got themselves a new goalkeeper now, I understand, as well, in the Women's National Premier League, all the way from Austria. See if they make their debut tomorrow. We will see.
They've been good to watch, West Canberra Wanderers. Some very good players as well.
A couple that you're taking to the UK as well.
Yeah, delighted for them to be coming over. They're looking an amazingly strong team, that.
That's for January. Can keep an eye on my socials for that, or Ian's, or Football Canberra if you like. We will bring you all the news from that talk because it's going to be good fun. Ale with the long throw again. Tokic makes his way into the penalty area, into the final minute of the first half. It was about now that when Nico Abba equalised over at High Streets, Tokic helps it on, and Ilic had to get down. It had a double help on. Delahi got a piece of it as well. Leverett, Nico Abbott's barely had a sniff of goal this afternoon. Here's Mishka Namoski, opens up onto that left foot, deflected, and City lead! Mishka Namoski, rolling back the years, and it's Derby Day delights for those in red. Right on the cusp of half-time again.
Well, if you're a Queanbeyan City supporter, that goal, it will live forever, and what a time to get it just before half-time. And yeah, the space just opened up. He's got a sweet left foot, hasn't he? And that cruel deflection just past Heath Ilic into an empty goal.
It left Ilic stranded. Mishka Namoski, the strike wasn't his best, but it's his 70th National Premier League goal. 309 times he's pulled on a shirt at this level. And that goal, as you say, will go down in City history. It's a goal on enemy territory. And the Clearwaters derby is led by Queanbeyan. Here's Ryan Straub. What have Monaro got in response? We're into stoppage time. Kreskas. The nick did not help, did it? Ilic, I think he had it covered before it took the deflection of whoever it hit. Sent him the wrong way.
Probably did, but he took the chance, didn't he? And you know, like you say, a cruel deflection ends up going the opposite way. But
care factor for those sitting to our right is minimal to none. And for the second time this season, Queanbeyan City are in front of Monaro Panthers. McLaren, that's a good ball forward. Dominici cutting inside, still going Dominici, taken off his toes by Roberts. Dominici was getting serenaded by the Queanbeyan City supporters after the goal. All the noise is from the visitors. I say that very loosely. Down to play. How long have we got left in the first half? Just had a message to tell me that the Matildas were beaten 1-0 by Panama today. Not the best of starts for the new head coach, Joe Montemuro. Kreskas on return. Runs it out of play. What a start to the game for City. They lead. Nathan Shakespeare's had a glance at the watch. We haven't had too many stoppages, have we? A couple of injury stoppages. McLaren. Palic in with the challenge. Just breaking up play. They've shown already this season against Tigers in the Cup, and against Monaro over the road, and against Canberra Croatia on Cup final day, that they can mix it with the best here, Queanbeyan City. Dylan Deep-Jones with the free kick.
Probably the last chance before half-time. Looks like he's going to sling it in the box.
May as well. Weeks one up towards McLaren. It's helped on. There's a flag up in the middle against Dominici. I think we can play on here as Roberts can bring it away. Delahi can stretch his legs up against Gaia. Abdurrahim Delahi. Oh, he skinned Gaia. He's got 3 to aim for. 2 on the far post. It's couldn't lift it off the ground. Otherwise, Nomoski and Ayul were unmarked, and that might have been a chance. As it is, the half-time whistle goes, and Queanbeyan City, Ian, will go into the break in front.
Yeah, you could say that Monaro Panthers have had a lion's share of possession, had a good few chances, but Queanbeyan City go and put it in at the other end, and they'll say it's all part of the master plan.
It is absolutely, and we mentioned that plan beforehand, and City have the lead right on half-time. Misko Nomoski's goal, which took a big deflection, means that there's work to be done for Paul McCall and crew in the changing rooms. 45 minutes gone, those in red are in delirium. At half-time here at Stryda Park, it's Monaro Panthers 0, Queanbeyan City 1. Welcome back to Stryda Park, where at half-time Monaro Panthers are struggling to come to terms with the fact that Clearwater's Derby Day, they find themselves adrift again. Monaro Panthers 0, Queanbeyan City 1. I'm Russ Gibbs. Ian Worthington is with me, having had his half-time snack. Monaro Panthers, well, they've got a good bench as well. I don't think they're bringing anyone on at the moment, Ian, but they've got to do something in this second half. I was talking in there with Adam DiFranceschi and Mitchell Jervis-Hamilton as well, a couple of injured players that are waiting to come back into this squad as well. And I mentioned it to them, same as last week. Lots of possession, lots going this way, but it's just not quite got the cutting edge in the final third.
They've just not taken the chances that have been coming their way from wide areas, and they've been extremely patient of Queanbeyan City and just broken them down right at the end of the first half. And a fantastic run again from Jack Leverett. Comes in field where the space is, a lovely little pass, and a shot that took a wicked deflection past Heath Illich. But I think the messages from the Monaro coaches will be, don't panic. They don't need to look desperate at the start of the second half. They've got a decent team. They've got decent players to come off the bench, and actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they did break Queanbeyan City down eventually.
Well, they haven't made any changes yet. Jaden Deegan-Smith, though, he's on the ball tonight. He picked up all the Oasis references in the first half. Wants to know if he can have your ticket for Sydney. What
Oasis references?
I don't know what he's talking about. He wants to know if he can have your ticket for Sydney.
Some might say we were talking Oasis references, but I wouldn't know.
No, you can't, Jaden, unfortunately.
No, in answer to your question, not 300 each. You've got the other one, haven't you?
I do have the other one, yeah. It's going to be horrendous. Having to spend a couple of nights away with you listening to Oasis.
It's work. We're going to an A-League game the night before, aren't we?
Are we actually doing that?
Yeah, well, we don't know who's playing who yet, but we need to make it a work trip.
Speaking of work, plenty to do for Monaro Panthers at the start of this second half. They trailed to that Mishko Domosky goal, which took a wicked deflection off Dylan Deep-Jones. Now, Dylan Deep-Jones has scored in his 2 previous games. I don't think that one's his.
No, he wouldn't want to claim it, would he?
I don't think so. It was a big deflection, though. Didn't give Heath Illich much chance. You've been in dressing rooms, situations in derbies like this where you've trailed at half-time. What's the prevailing mood, and how do you get yourself back into it? Is it a question of just lifting your game and playing with a bit greater intensity? This deflection might help, and it will help. And Fernando, who's off the bench, literally just come on now, the one change at the start of the second half, which I missed, forces a save. Now, he's come on for someone.
Oh, I'd hope so, otherwise they've got 12 on the pitch, Russ.
That's true, and I'm trying to see who it is he may have replaced. But he was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. He's come into that midfield role. I think it might be. Well, it's going to be a while to pick this up. It's not Kalfas, is it?
It is.
It is Kalfas.
It is Kalfas, yeah.
Nikos Kalfas lasted 45 minutes. Hope he's not injured. But that is the one change they've made. I'll come back to that in a second then as Kachenko bustles through. And feeds McLaren, and that's a really good save from Middleton. Diving away to his right, top save from the goalkeeper.
First of all, what about the strike? Whips across from Zach McLaren, but the save matched the strike. Brilliant from the goalkeeper.
And Kreskas' ball in, ricochets off a couple of heads and is held by Middleton. Well, I was going to say to you, what do they need to do at the start of the second half? Is it a question of upping the tempo? Well, they've already tested Middleton twice.
Yeah, but as I just said at the start of the second half, apart from putting the ball in the back of the net, I think Monaro are playing all right. So I wouldn't think it's a massive switch in how they're going to play. You can always say raise the intensity or work harder or press higher or whatever. But generally, I think Monaro have been okay, and I think they've still got a huge chance of getting back in the game.
Fernando has come on into the middle of the park then. Marco Gaia finds Kreskas. I miss when we had a fourth officials board, tells us what was going on. Deep-Jones. McLaren. Clock is too strong. Illegally so, says Nathan Shakespeare.
The last time we had a substitution board with a fourth official, they didn't know how it worked. Was that the Women's Fed Cup final?
That's true. Had a bit of a problem with it, didn't they?
Yeah.
McLaren goes short. Panthers had 7 shots to 2 in that first half. Didn't help them because they trail by 1-0. They've come out firing though. Kreskas delivers it into the area. Middleton thought about coming, decided to stay, probably the best option. Clearance is horrible. Came right off the side of the foot. Zach McLaren, a little shouldering on Jack Leverett there.
Won't bother Jack Leverett in the slightest.
Try to give him some back. Kreskas. Dominici with the shove. Goes unpunished. On Christian Tokic. Queanbeyan asking the question, why wasn't it a free kick? Kreskas. Here's Minus Smith. Kreskas. Delivers towards the far post. Palic away, only as far as Straub, who tries a hit. Oh, and it flashes past the post. And it had Middleton worried. Ryan Straub with a fierce strike.
Crowder up on the left-hand side to us here. They thought that was going to nestle in the bottom right-hand corner. Must have been extremely close.
Panthers claimed a corner. Nothing doing.
Not a corner.
Well, you get that because it wasn't given, mate.
It was a goal kick.
Leverett skips away from McLaren and looks to deliver one for Delahi. Gaia. Calm on the ball, perhaps a little too calm on the ball. It's a good turn. Minded Smith, but much like most of the work that the Panthers have done, it's fallen apart in the final third at the moment.
Stepped out well, Armani Lavella there, and just stopped that run of Conor Minot Smith.
Doesn't look like a centre-back who's only ever played 2.5 Premier League games, does he?
Been great so far, hasn't he?
One slice from Milic.
If he's not turned his back there, it might have put him in.
Melik forward. One by Palic. Palic?
Oh, we're off again, are we, Galich? Is he on the bench tonight, Galich?
Samuel Palic is on the bench tonight. Daniel Galich scored today. There is no Michael Galich today either for Queanbeyan City, fortunately.
And Harrison Palic is playing left back and has done from the start of the game.
He has done. And it was him that won the header, not Palic.
Or Galich.
Panthers have started the second half on the front foot, where they spent most of the first. Ryan Straub with the free kick. Whips it in towards Fernando, helped on by Kreskas. And that wasn't far away either. Might have grazed a lick of paint off the outside of the post as it flashed by. And Nick Middleton. It's a little bit early to be wasting time, Nick. 7 minutes into the second half.
Nathan Shakespeare's just give him a little whistle, hasn't he? And that's his next one. I think he's not far off a yellow here.
Seems a bit counterproductive in the 52nd minute of the football match. It's better clearance though from Middleton. McLaren wins it over Delay. Savkovic. McLaren. Leverett stops him before he gets going. Here's Dominici. Kreskas. No Daniel Barish tonight, of course, suspended. The Golden Boot leader in the Premier League from the Panthers. Kachenko has got away. Might have got a free kick. Nomoski robbed on the edge of his own box. Roberts won it back. Palic plays it forward. Abbott. Barely mentioned him tonight. Deep Jones has to just clear.
Right, it's a good press. I mean, he should have gone back, really. But it was a decent press, and they're in again.
Yeah, Leverett's found Delahi fairly quickly from the throw. Roberts. Leverett's continued his run forward. Gaia's favourite to get there. And too strong for Jack Leverett. City have now scored 12 goals this season. 10 in the first half of games. Only 2 in the second 45, but they've got something to hold on to here. Given to them by Mishko Nomoski's 70th National Premier League goal. Kachenko. Combination of Roberts and Palic does for him. Gaia. They are defending deeper and deeper though, again, Queanbeyan. Kreskas can't find the requisite accuracy on the pass. Delahi's away from Gaia, not from Straub. Seen City a lot this season, Ian, and they're quite content to let the opposition have the ball and sit back and defend and throw bodies in the way and trust that they're going to deal with the crosses.
They know what they are, don't they? They know they're a counter-attack inside and, you know, have those blocks and just sit patiently in numbers defensively. And again, they've got the rewards, haven't they? Well, at the moment.
At the moment, Deep Jones, Tokic.
It's a big touch.
Made it his own, though, did he, Savkovic? Created a 50-50, then won it. Like I used to defend, wasn't it, Ian?
Well, he's created it with Queanbeyan Smith, so it's not his forte.
Dominici
really,
chasing.
Connor?
You always create a 50-50. I heard your first touch was pretty heavy.
70-30s. Tell you what, some of those touches on Yarra Lumley this afternoon with Tigers and Canberra, Croatia, goodness me.
I saw it a bit on the O'Connor versus Tuggeron game at the O'Connor Enclose. That was a very difficult surface today.
Some absolute shockers around at the moment, some of the surface in this town.
Kachenko swings it in. Deep Jones was the target. Isle away as far as McLaren. Straub helps it on. Overcomplicating it slightly, I think. Smith. Kreskas in towards Fernando. Kachenko. Fernando lofts one just too high for Dominici, but they are knocking on the door here, Monaro Panthers. It's not exactly belting themselves on the door, are they? More of a slight rap at the moment, but you can feel something building.
Queanbeyan Smith had put himself in a brilliant position there. He'd asked for the ball just on that slight cutback, and the ball was chipped wide of the far post instead. And not surprised Connor was frustrated there. He's got a free shot if it comes back to him.
Were you surprised McLaren didn't pull the trigger when he opened up the inside channel onto that right foot?
Well, he's certainly capable, isn't he? We've seen him score some match winners in the past when Frank Keisha was at the helm and in finals in days gone by.
At the moment, Queanbeyan can barely get out of their half. Monaro Panthers dominating territory and possession, but not the scoreboard. Queanbeyan Smith has a go. Dragged his shot. Lavella was in the way again, though. Just as an aside, Jack Leverett will go down as an assist for that Mishko Nomoski goal, and having got a couple of assists last week as well, he's in a rich vein of form of creating goals. They've charged this one down. It was Delahi, and it broke for Abbott. Melek has to go back to Middleton. Fernando. Switch of play. Dominici is the target. Leverett is with him. Dominici just rolled his marker. McLaren. Inside again. Zach McLaren. Tokic with the challenge, and then Roberts.
Fabulous from Roberts. He just needed to move the ball forward quicker on the transition.
Kachenko, they are banging this door down now. Firing it across, and nobody can get a touch in Panthers green and black. It was a delicious ball in from Robert Kachenko. It just needed a stud. It got neither.
Steve Dominici held his run, didn't he? If he would have just kept walking forward, there's a chance he could have put that in at the far post, but he's got the ball now.
Glorious ball from Gaia, and Dominici was shaping to bend one. And you talked about fade away. That one did. from left to right.
It certainly did. He went to bend it, and it just seemed to come off his foot wrong, unfortunately for him.
If you're Paul McCall right now, and you're looking at your bench, and you've got Patrick Mitchell, Sam Rusbach, and Giuseppe Tyne, and you're playing the way you're playing at the moment, you've got to be happy with the start of the second half because they're fairly dominated. They had their better chances in, but would you be thinking about change?
It might just be a personnel change. It might just freshen it up, which is what they did with a bit with Fernando ever so slightly, and Conor Minor-Smith's gone a little bit higher.
It's what Queanbeyan are going to do very shortly with Samuel Abba. Big, strong, pacey forward.
It might be Abbott. Abbott, we know, has been struggling with injury in recent weeks, and look, he's done all right tonight. Absolutely, he has, but might not have enough of him to get through much more of the game.
It's not. He hasn't had a chance, has he? Really, to add to his goals tally. He usually only needs half a chance.
Well, that's true as well, and that's the risk if he does come off. That chance comes along, and he's not there if he's off and on the bench. But at the moment, his team lead 1-0.
60 Premier League games included tonight, Nico Abbott. 47 Premier League goals. It's a pretty decent return from the centre forward, who's got 5 this season for Queanbeyan City. He's their top goal scorer. Started 8 matches, come off the bench twice as well. Scored, of course, against Monaro. Got himself a couple of lovely back heels this year, didn't he? Instinctive finishes.
Yeah, from close range.
Dominici, he's got magic in his boots as well. And that's a good-looking ball. McLaren won't be able to keep it in. It came off of Jack Leverett's. It will be a Panthers. Well, it won't. It's a goal kick. Didn't come off of Leverett in the end. Thought for a moment that Shakespeare was saying it was a goal kick. We're going to see this change, and it looks like a double change, in fact, for Queanbeyan City. Stephen Kreskus is over there as well. And who's coming off is the question.
Namoski.
Mishko Namoski is one. The goal scorer, he's done his bit tonight.
And Abbott, I think he's heading over to that side at a snail's pace.
Well, Stephen Kreskus, third appearance of the season. All of them as substitutes. Now, Sam Abba, I spoke to Goran Jozefovski about this boy in the week. In training, he is unplayable. Scores incredible goals, bounces players off him. He's a big size as well. Sometimes in match play, they get the feeling that he just needs to impose himself and wants to believe he belongs at this level, Ian. And, you know, look at the size of the unit. He's a quick lad as well. And I saw him score a wonderful goal in pre-season. He's got all the skills and ability, just needs to put it onto the show in the stage in front of him.
And that comes with maturity, doesn't it? He's still a young boy, and whilst he looks physically capable and he's got a decent shot on him, game understanding, reacting to good situations for his team, and
might this be his night? It could well be. I'm sure we're going to see an awful lot of him over the years because he has got a fair amount of ability. Samuel Abba did score in the cup, in the win over Balconing United, I believe.
He's had more clubs than Tiger Woods already at a young age, hasn't he? But, you know, maybe he's going to settle nicely.
Well, here's a chance. Ayul's won it back, and Delahaye's fed him. It's Gabriel Ayul, a real chap for 2, and he rams it home! And it's double derby delight for Queanbeyan City. Celebrated with a flourish, and the noisy neighbours from over the road are making a racket. Panthers 0, City 2.
It's just gone absolutely nuts to our right, hasn't it? The Queanbeyan City crowd absolutely delighted with that one, and he smashed it home. What a brilliant finish. It was that mid-counter attack. They sat back again, and yeah, they've just picked Monaro off in that wide area. I don't actually know what's happened to the back line there. And I think that Queanbeyan City's players have had a nice little walk past the Monaro Panthers bench on the way back across the half as well. But yeah, a lot of excitement, and it's 2-0 Queanbeyan.
The noise is all Queanbeyan. The noise is all from the red half of the city. They have 2 goal cushion. There's a yellow card for someone on the bench. Was that one of the substitutes, potentially?
Couldn't tell you from here. There's a bit of a group of them, and he put it in that general direction.
I think it's either Paul McCall or Sam Rusbachen who he's pointed that one up. We'll get some clarification later on, of course. But for Queanbeyan City, smash and grab, Ian. They were under the pressure, under the cosh. One mistake. Abdurrahim Delahi fed Gabriel Ayol, who did the rest. I thought he was going to give Abba a tap-in for a moment. But he backed himself, and goodness me, he backed himself to the hilt. And now they've got something else to hang on to. Deep Jones.
Well, sometimes it takes a few minutes for the team who's brought the substitutions on to settle into that shape. But actually, the changes immediately caught Monaro Panthers out.
Presented with an opportunity, Gabriel Ayol, who's only ever scored one Premier League goal in his career, certainly took his chance. He fairly hammered it home. Not a prayer for Heath Illich. Clattered it past the Panthers goalkeeper. Kreskus went down under the challenge of Straub. Free kick goes the way of Queanbeyan City. Everything is going the way of Queanbeyan City. They've created 2 chances in, realistically, and they've scored 2 goals.
They've got to come out. So, you know, we were talking just before about Monaro's changes that look like they're happening over there. Looks like there's 2 ready.
Roberts into the area, only half cleared. Guy got a piece of it away, I think it was, in the middle. Now combined at Smith, he's just run down by the long limbs of Christian Tokic. Ayul with Melik. Sam Rosbakken, I think, is one of them, you said. About to join us. Monaro Panthers could have gone seconds tonight. They're going to stay third unless something dramatic changes. However, cast your mind back not too long ago, a few hours back, in the mini Clearwaters derby. It was 2-0 to Queanbeyan City at about this stage. They scored the second goal through young Alexander Evans. Panthers won that one 3-2 with 3 goals in the final 10 minutes. Illich to send it.
That goal has woken up the Queanbeyan natives a bit. Got a little bit more noisy to our right. I know you call them the noisy neighbours, would you? But,
well, yeah, we do.
Well, they're the ones who are in charge at the moment.
There's going to be some Panthers changes. Sam Rosbakken is coming on. Patrick Mitchell is coming on. Let's see who's going.
It looks like Steve Dominici is walking in that direction.
Max Melik as well. So we'll see how this plays out. Steve Dominici cutting an angry figure over there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He looks like he just fancies wandering round to this side, really. He's been gone through the gate where Jim Bean will be hanging about. Maybe he's going to have a sit down with him.
I think they're going to make... I don't know what's going on over there, but he might be walking him around the ground so he doesn't have to go in front of the Panthers fans.
Well, you just walk past the other way then.
The other side?
You walk around the other side and walk in front of your own fans.
He might come back, maybe he's just
chill out a bit. Yeah, he's just gone to chill out. Naughty corner.
Not the happy bunny. 2-0 down.
Plays with his heart on his sleeve, Steve, doesn't he? So
100%.
Always has. Don't take that away from him in the slightest.
Well, you do, and you lose the footballer, don't you?
Always say don't look back in anger with stuff like that, don't you?
You absolutely do. kick awarded. Good ball forward, won by Tokic. Deep Jones has come across. McLaren. Minus Smith. Panthers need a goal. Tokic. Ayul's after this. Middleton's come.
Oh.
He's not got there. And he's helped out by a trio of defenders. Illich came rather. Said Middleton. I'm getting myself mixed up here. Heath Illich, of course.
Middleton's come a long way
Come
for
a
that,
long way,
hasn't he?
absolutely he has. McLaren. He's come 90 metres to get that one.
Turn round and still not cleared it.
Kreskas. To swing one in towards Fernando. Over the head. Palic can ease him away from the ball. Deep Jones, there's going to be chances here for Queanbeyan on the break, isn't it? Because Panthers are going to have to throw everybody at this.
Well, they've been about the counter-attack from minute one, haven't they? And now it's going to even become easier for them to pick them off if they keep Monaro Panthers at bay.
Mitchell. Challenge from Tokic. 20 minutes to go between Queanbeyan City and another derby win over Monaro Panthers. Could not write this script. Well, I could, but...
You probably have already. You've probably done your reviews for Monday. Is that what happens when you say you go into work? You've already written them.
They'll do it all again in round 19. Saturday, the 23rd of August, 3 o'clock, over the road. You know the reviews go up on Sunday, so I have to have written them by then, Premier League, right?
I don't know. I don't get to read them until Monday.
Savor the moment.
Save them, yeah. It's my Monday morning read.
You have a coffee.
Put my readers on. I've got
Delivery
recently.
is deep. And one beautifully at the back. Great leap, but unable to get it on target. You got yourself a pair of readers.
Yeah,
Getting old, my
I am.
friend.
Got my eyes tested a couple of weeks ago. Got some readers.
That would explain some of your team selections when you were head coaching, right?
And that's a distant memory now, mate. You're only as good as your last game. Don't forget that.
That is what they say in football, correct?
Yeah. Well, it is today, anyway. Next week, who knows?
Who knows next week, exactly. It's a great thing about this game. There's always a next week. Deep Jones back to Illich. McLaren tried to help it on. Tokic got stuck in. Comes for Fernando. McLaren. Deep Jones. Rosbakken. Deep Jones again. Heavy clearance by Palic wasn't his best, but Savkovic just helps it on its way. And Guyer's got Abba lurking. He did well there. Sam Abba was closing down Marco Guyer. Kreskas away from Leveritz. Tokic upends Mitchell. And he's going to get a yellow card, Tokic. And this will be his 4th yellow card of the season.
Is it?
Apparently. So, guess what?
He's suspended for one game, is he? He can have next week off.
He should be suspended from the Tuggeranong United match, having picked up his 4th yellow card now.
Well, unless Nathan Shakespeare gives it to Jack
He
Leverett.
could give it to someone else. Who knows? Who knows?
Sam Abba's there. He can give it to him.
Kreskas will take this free kick.
It'd be funny if he's in the team next week.
Let's see who Dribble gives it to this week. Is it? Kreskas over this free kick. Plenty of Panthers on the far post. They could do with something. They need a lift. The home side very quiet to our left. Kreskas whips it. Good shape on it. Middleton won it. Nodded back by Minus Smith. And is it off the line? It's not. It's in, I think. Or is it a free kick? What's he giving?
Well, the linesman's got his flag up on the far
For a
side.
free kick.
For a free kick that I'm not sure was a free kick, to be honest with you.
A foul on the line, perhaps.
What it was, it looked like a brilliant headed clearance off the line when it went over the top of Middleton.
It was brilliant. I'm not sure who it was, but there was some cracking defensive work. I thought it might be one of those ones that was behind the line.
I'm not sure whether there's Armani Lavella, you know.
Again. Ilic finds Deep Jones. Connor Minot-Smith to chase. Middleton does come for this one and wins it. Chance for Rusbacken to deliver. Fernando. Half cleared. Mitchell trying to force it way through. But if you do read the reviews on Monday morning, and you are of a Queanbeyan City persuasion, it will be a case of morning glory for Queanbeyan City. They will love reading all about this again and watching it back over and over again. When they did win last time, Ian, there were some interesting social media posts flowing out of the Queanbeyan City half of the city. But here's an interesting change. Giuseppe Tyne is about to come on for Ryan Straub.
Well, that is a tactical change I would fully expect. To put Seppi as an extra striker up front, albeit...
Giuseppe Tyne, who a few weeks ago I thought was done. Well, wasn't going to play football anymore.
And Paddy Mitchell's just gone to right of a three at the back by the looks of it.
Pushing Sam Rusbacken into midfield. Now then, Giuseppe Tyne's last involvement as a substitute against Queanbeyan City over the road ended up with him being dismissed for 2 yellow cards. He'll want
redemption, won't he?
Yeah, want a redemption story.
But
McLaren charging through the middle.
He brings power, he brings pace, he brings aggression, he can put the ball in the net. So, I mean, when you look at your bench, who you're going to bring on, of course, it's got to be Seppi Tyne. What a chance for this boy.
Here he is. Ayul reverting to left back at the moment to help defend. 15 minutes plus stoppage time for Queanbeyan City to hold on or extend their advantage, of course. Mitchell. Rusbacken, lovely shape on that again. Just a bit too much for Crescas. Who finds Gaia. Roberts sticks to him. Just eases him off the ball. Wins a free kick as well. Daniel Roberts, and has a few words for Fernando as well.
Yeah, Jack Leverett's enjoying a bit of a chat here. Looks like he enjoyed himself.
If you can't enjoy yourself, 2-0 up, away from home on enemy territory, when can you enjoy yourself? This has been something that's been talked about all week, this game. Been a bit of noise from both camps. Panthers talked all about redemption and revenge at the moment. They're staring down the barrel. Rusbacken, Palic got in the way.
They are, and Queanbeyan City are feeling supersonic.
Queanbeyan City, who have only won 3 Premier League games before today, might be winning their 4th, of which 50% would be against the Panthers. Monaro Panthers, who've only lost 3 games before today, might be losing a 4th, of which 50% will be against Queanbeyan City. Derby football makes no sense. And it makes nonsense of predictions. Ayul flicks it on. Crescas, Stephen Crescas. Savkovic launches it. Ilic to send it. Fernando penalised. It's hard to put your finger on this, Ian, about where this has changed for the Panthers. They were so free-flowing at the start of the season. They were scoring goals by the bucketful. You were looking at it. And yes, Daniel Balac isn't here tonight, and that makes a big difference. But honestly, it's hard to say where it's gone wrong. McLaren, Kreskas. Back for Kachenko. And of course, these are amateur players. They don't train all the time, and you know, things happen in life and in football.
Yeah, but the changes that Monaro have made are decent as well, you know.
Or Steve Jones has given it away to Abba, and his pass is too strong for Delahi.
And that's what I was saying about Sam Abba before, you know. You can say he's brilliant in training and stuff. It's his decision-making in key moments, and often that's what makes you, you know, the standout, whether you can play the game at a high level or, unfortunately, you can, you know.
But from what I can gather in training, he would have just knocked that past Deep Jones and run, because he's big and strong and hard to knock off the ball and fast.
Yeah, so capabilities, yeah, physically has those capabilities, but then if your decision-making isn't there, then things change, don't they? We don't know how fast he is if he's not going to knock the ball past a player and run with it. Confidence thing, one of the younger players in the team, perhaps.
First team environment.
Yeah. So will it come in the future?
Wants to do the right thing. Here he is. There's a little glimpse of it.
Done very well there.
Delahi.
He's offside now, though.
Yeah. Stephen Kreskas helped it on. Here's Dylan Deep Jones. Panthers staring down the barrel of dropping points at home for the second week in a row. Gets easier for them next week as Roberts goes in with a challenge. Next weekend, they're away at Canberra, Croatia. Should be tough, won't it?
Be.
Canberra, Croatia, Tigers tomorrow. As it stands, Croatia have a 6-point lead at the top. Their lead over the Panthers will be 7 points. If they win tomorrow, they'll lead Tigers by 9 and Panthers by 10. Now, check this out. Zach McLaren has gone right in to speak to Nick Middleton. Kreskas has whipped it into that area.
If you're going to do that decoy, get in the way type of thing, it's got to go actually beyond Zach McLaren over his left shoulder. Otherwise, it just casts no shadow, does it, with the
decoy, it was
the near ball. Yeah.
It was horrible. A bit like your reference. Sam Hammer can't keep it in. But, I mean, you can see it was less of a decoy. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, is it, that one? He may as well have gone up to Nick Middleton and gone, Christian Kreskas is just going to drop it into your hands.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what he said to him. We're having a bit of a bad night here. He'll just put it into your hands.
I don't want to be churlish, but it kind of sums up Panthers' evening on the field at the moment. It's right about now, though, that the reserves started to kick themselves into action.
It is. It's getting a little bit feisty all of a sudden, which is taking a while for a derby game.
Marnie Lavella is down, having a little rest. Some of the Panthers faithful have had nothing.
Is there a fire drill?
Queanbeyan City are happy to just eke this one out as it goes. A win today, as I say, keeps them level with Tuggeranong on 17 points. They'll be behind Tuggeranong on goals scored, I think. Tuggeranong's goal difference is -9. Queanbeyan's will be -9. Tuggeranong have scored 16. Queanbeyan have scored 13. What this would do is put O'Connor Knight 7 points adrift of that pair in the chase for the 4, which is a long way to come back. McLaren, side of the foot, just trying to shank it in field.
He's tried to hit that diagonal ball, I think, hasn't he? And
not quite come off.
But
Fernando's putting it in that area. Minot Smith will get after it. He'll leave it. He will get it, though, Minot Smith, and he'll win his team a corner. And Deep Jones will get forward, and Gaia will get forward.
Well, they've still got 15 minutes plus stoppages here, Monaro, so they're certainly going for it, and they're certainly not out of the game yet.
How long did you say? You need your readers.
I can't see over there. Is that 38 or 30?
38, mate.
38.
So they got 7.
It's because I've not got my readers on.
Need to go home and get your readers. A free kick corner in towards Rusback, and missed it. Comes out for Minot Smith.
I know that's gone over the bar, though. I can see that from here.
It's in towards the river from Conor Minot Smith. And that'll waste a few more seconds.
Not 8 minutes.
6 to play plus stoppage time. Well, it might be about 15 if you add on 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. Nick Middleton will be in no real hurry to get on with this. He was in no real hurry in the 52nd minute when they were 1-0 up. Sends it forward. Novella back there, fully recovered, up against Tyne. Not in the Monaro Panthers script, this one. Kuchenko. Deep Jones launches one in towards the area. Tokic wins the header. Guy has won it back, will get a free kick. And a chance to push his team forward. Five minutes to play. Christian Kreskas is lining this one up. 6 Panthers to his left. Kreskas goes for a flat delivery. Fernando won it. Was offside. Unfortunately for him, he saves his blushes. It was a horrible header.
It was a bit. It's like hit the side of his head, didn't it?
He's usually very good in those areas as a Chilean. Getting shouts out up here for Queanbeyan City faithful.
Wow, what they're saying.
Just giving us a shout out, mate.
Oh, they're probably writing the.
They're in a happy mood.
I'm here currently writing my report for the NPL youth page that, you know, I may or may not be part of.
The one that you write, your NPL youth page?
Yeah, my NPL youth page, or maybe one of a cast of 1,000 others.
How's your poetry?
Chat, whatever it's called.
You can't even spell it.
I'll tell you, how could I be part of that page? I don't even know how to read and write.
Can't even read a clock. Charge down at the top ends. Monaro in hurry-up mode. It's not been their night. That one's down towards the fire pits. Into the trees. Some kick across by Rob Googleman. Absolutely leather that across.
It's a player.
That one's out the ground as well. Take 2.
He's having another drag. Kick.
A drag kick. I'm running out of footballs. I might add you 15 minutes on if they have to go and fetch a couple. Try as they might, Panthers have not found a way through. Two really good chances at the start of the second half. The save from Middleton from McLaren was top-notch. It's knocked on here by Rosbakken. And how's your luck? It's come off of Kreskis' shin. And it's away. And we're into the final couple of minutes, and it feels like City's evening, Ian. Casting your mind back to when you played in the UK and you were part of squads there, and you'd go away from home to your local neighbours and you'd come away with a victory. It was a sweet feeling.
Yeah, it is. I don't know, I always think that there's a bit of class involved in that as well, and just being dignified. Of course you enjoy it at the time with your team, and different players did different things. I wasn't one who just went and sorted the team, the fans that we played against out. I always enjoyed it, spending it with your own and your own players and your own fans and stuff like that. So
I'm sure
it's always sweet, though.
I'm sure they'll enjoy themselves tonight. I mean, it's good winning at home against your neighbours, but winning away, even if it is just over the way.
But it's like the bus back or the dressing room post-game after a win. It's spending that time with your teammates and, lapping it up together as a team, and that brings you into the next game then, because there's no point doing it in a derby and then getting turned over the week after anyway, so you've still got a job to do.
Didn't really have club songs to sing back in the UK, did we, after games? Just got on with it. They do like the club song over here, and I'm sure City will be blasting theirs out unless there's a remarkable late turnover. Rosbakken in towards Kreskis. Here's one back. Smith with 30 seconds to go. Sweeps it in from Rosbakken's pass. Maybe there is hope for Monaro Panthers.
And for the first time, I'm questioning where Jack Leverett actually was as the ball comes across. Of course, they've got to stop the cross on the other side, and it's come all the way to the far post, and it's just a simple tap-in. Good movement from Smith, and puts it home.
And gives Queanbeyan City a nervy bit of time added on. I'm not sure how long we're going to get. We don't know. But that goal came just as stoppage time is ticked over. We played about 20 seconds of it. Panthers have a glimmer. The Clearwaters derby, the conclusion might not be so clear. Have we written the obituary a bit too soon, Ian? Mitchell. We saw a remarkable ending to the reserves. Here's Rosbakken to fire it across again. All of a sudden it's twitchy at the back for Queanbeyan City.
Who've gone with about a back eight as one of their players just goes down in the box with a bit of cramp. But the thing is with this, as Nathan Shakespeare waves the physio on, is he not just going to stop his watch and just prolong the agony for the Queanbeyan City supporters?
Yes, he is. That's exactly what he's going to do, and it means we haven't got a clue how long it's to go. What did Alex Ferguson call this? Squeaky bum time?
We did, or Fergie time that everyone else called it.
It's a bit like that right about now if you're Queanbeyan City. They were 2-0 up and cruising. Smith, his first goal on his return to the club. Gives him a nice round 10 goals in 40 Premier League appearances. Was never going to miss it once it found its way across from Rosbakken. Now what this does do, as I think Harrison Palic wanders off, they're going to make a change, aren't they? They're going to have to. Vasco Petrovski.
Yeah, Petrovski's come on. He'll go and just make another number up in the back line for Queanbeyan City.
City legend to see out the derby at the back. Ayul will launch this as far as he can. McLaren, Petrovski to climb. Firm challenge over the top of Kachenko, who stays down. Might have caught a head knock, Robert Kachenko.
Well, that's why Nathan Shakespeare is waving the Monaro physio on this time.
No free kick award.
It's a free kick, though, isn't it? If he's going to go through the back of him like that onto his head.
Well, he hasn't given it. He's given a yellow card here to Sam Rosbakken for his chat, which probably clears up earlier on that it was probably Paul McCall that got one on the bench. Otherwise, Rosbakken would be back there joining him. Monaro Panthers asking for a free kick. Kachenko's stayed down. He hasn't moved since Petrovski's cleaned him out. So it was clearly a sore one. We've got no replay, so we can't see it. It was a very physical challenge. The question is, did he lead with the arm? Or has he just called him on the follow?
Well, if he led with the arm or he didn't, it's still a free kick, in my opinion. And Robert's still on the ground there. It was a big thud.
Well, we played 3 minutes of stoppage time here, and this might go for the 15 that you were talking about earlier on.
Well, that's what I was meaning when I was saying that. You know, I could predict what was going to happen in games like these. You asked me about games I've been involved in the past, and that is exactly what's happened.
You're a talented prognosticator, as they say.
And not a clue what that means.
Someone who makes predictions
okay.
about the future. You can learn some.
Every day is a school day with you, Mr. Gibbs.
Tis for you.
Well, I never went in the first place. I'm on catch-up.
Well, we are playing stoppage time. A reminder that we've got 3 Women's National Premier League games for you tomorrow. A brace of Men's National Premier League games, associated 23s and reserves where they're being played. Tune into the Capital Football YouTube channel for all of that. And keep an eye out around town in the next fortnight, because in 2 weeks' time it is Kanga Cup week. 366 teams, something like that. Some enormous amount of teams coming, 75% of which I understand are from interstate, which are great. There's a Kiwi side coming. There's a Filipino team playing in the girls' under 15s as well. So if you're around and about on the venues, check it out. All the fixtures and details at kangacup.com. Always a great week of football, that one.
It is. I will see you around the traps that week.
You got a Tigers team in the tournament?
Several. Yeah, I'll be spending most of my week at Kanga Cup.
Tigers team
just having a nice little look round.
I think I'm in Cornwall for the first couple of days. Okay. We'll see how we go from there. Robert Kachenko has picked himself up. Really saw one for him. It's not going to help. Now, the drop ball is going to be with the Panthers, which is almost like a free kick from here, because McLaren will be able to take a touch and just loft it in, which is what he's done exactly that over the head. Petrovski's won it. Roberts hooks it high. Savkovic will challenge. It's come off the knee of Tyne. Mitchell asking Rosbach in the chase, but he's overhit it. Into the 51st minutes.
Linesman's giving it to Monaro here. I don't know how that's come off a Queanbeyan City player, but
no idea.
Anyway.
Here's Fernando to lift it into the penalty area. Ayul away. Gaia. McLaren. Leverett's won the challenge. And it's dinked into his path by Roberts. And he can send Aberoff on a run with Deep Jones, who just eases him off the ball. And Mitchell can send it long. McLaren will chase. There's no one behind. Ayul's just collapsed in a heap. There was no one near him either.
He won't give this.
It's a card coming out here for someone. Is it Marko Savkovic, who's got a yellow card? And that's his 4th of the season as well.
So he's having a week off next week.
Seems like Tokic and Savkovic will both miss out. Gabriel Ayul, there was no one near him when he ran past, and he just fell backwards in a heap. And that's the 2nd yellow card of the match for Queanbeyan.
Referee stops Nathan Shakespeare stops the game there. Did he stop the game just for back chat?
No, I think he stopped the game because of a big concern about what had happened to Gabriel Ayul, I think.
Okay, and then give the yellow card.
And then I think Marko Savkovic said something to him about not stopping the game earlier for Ayul for a free kick.
Robert Kachenko's still down to our left.
He is not in a good way, is he, Robert Kachenko?
He's also holding his head.
He copped a proper clonk. And Vasko Petrovski is not a small human.
No. And he's going to come and join him down this near side. So both physios are in front of us.
Well, it's 10v10, isn't it?
10v10, a set piece in a big position, just like last week, but at the opposite end of the field.
In the 8th minute of stoppage time, Kreskus to take. A crowded scene inside the penalty area, a bit like dropping off point at school time over the road in the bus shelter. Jostling for position. Kreskus swings it in, can't get it past Savkovic. Back out for Kreskus again. Sends it forward. Petrovski high. Queanbeyan want Ayul back on. Kreskus has won it, but he can't keep it in. 8 minutes of stoppage time gone. Queanbeyan edging closer to a second 2-1 Derby Day win. Gabriel to take. Won by Gaia. Savkovic wins it back. Stephen Kreskas finds Roberts, who's breaking away and stabs it for ABBA, who stays onside. Well, he's cleaned out by Gaia, and that'll be a card for the left back, I think. It should be a yellow card for Marco Gaia, and it is.
Well, he's giving him a red.
And he's giving him a red for a second yellow, I think, is he?
Well, he pointed at the same place. I can only imagine that he said something as he's got up.
He hadn't been booked by my notes before, but Marco Gaia is sent off, and he too will have a week off next week. The yellow card was for the foul, but then he must have said something, as you said.
Nathan Shakespeare showed 2 yellow cards before a red, and he pointed at the same area. So,
Marco Gaia.
1 for the foul for sure, and then quickly followed by something else.
Robert Kachenko is coming off in front of us here. He is not in a very good way at all, is he?
No, he's not, no. To the point of where, he needs to be helped back into the changing rooms or something.
Point of concern for Robert Kachenko, who looks really fuzzy. Dear oh dear, that is not good news. For a foul, for something that wasn't even going to foul, here's another yellow card. And it's gone to Sam ABBA.
A bit of time wasting, I think, Russ.
I'm struggling to remember who's been booked and who hasn't here. But that'll do. And as the fire pit roars in the background, Queanbeyan City win the derby again. They can paint the town red once more. Queanbeyan City have come to the home of their local rivals, and the noisy neighbours are making noise again. All the sounds are from the right. It's Derby Day delights. Queanbeyan City have come to the Panthers, Ian, and taken the points.
Ruthless in attack, a wonder wall at the back, a great evening for Queanbeyan City.
An incredible performance. They had to ride their luck at times. A goal right on half-time from Mishka Namosi, deflected in off Dylan Deep-Jones, added to by a thumping second from Gabriel Ayul. Conor Smith pulled one back with the last kick of the regulation 90. Then we had to hold on for that last 8 minutes for Queanbeyan City. They just about did it, and Monaro Panthers will trudge dejectedly off the field. It's Queanbeyan's night. It's Queanbeyan City. They've done it again. Full time at Stryda Park. Monaro Panthers 1, Queanbeyan City 2.